What is the healthiest rice? Ranking the best and worst for your body. If rice were in high school, some types would be the valedictorians of nutrition, and others would be skipping gym class with a bag of chips. What is the healthiest type of rice?
Rice.
It's in your sushi, your stir-fry, your grandma's Sunday lunch, and probably in your pantry right now. But here's the big question. Which type of rice is actually good for your health, and which one is just pretending to be part of your wellness squad? Let's dig into the grains, literally. Sure, some rice varieties are richer in fiber, protein, or antioxidants, but here's the good news. Any type of rice can be part of a balanced, healthy diet. Unless you're eating it 3 times a day with a side of butter and denial, you're probably doing just fine. Now, let's talk about why rice is such a big deal. This grain feeds billions of people worldwide. It's affordable, accessible, and let's be honest, it pairs well with literally everything. From sushi rolls to curry bowls, rice is the quiet hero in global kitchens. But not all rice is created equal. There's a rainbow of varieties out there, and some types bring more to the table than just good looks and carbs. We're talking nutrients, antioxidants, and even disease-fighting compounds. Yes, rice can be a health food if you pick the right kind. So, let's start with brown rice, the overachiever. Brown rice is like white rice. If white rice had a whole personality makeover and started doing yoga. Here's why. Brown rice still has its bran and germ intact. That's where most of the good stuff lives. The only thing it's missing is the tough outer shell, the hull, which nobody eats anyway. Now, what makes brown rice a contender for the healthiest rice title? It's got flavonoid antioxidants like apigenin, quercetin, and luteolin. Those sound like characters from a sci-fi movie, but they're actually disease-fighting compounds that help reduce the risk of heart disease and even certain cancers. Brown rice also has more fiber and protein than white rice. Not a massive amount. We're not talking steak levels, but enough to help you stay full longer, manage your weight, and keep your blood sugar from roller coastering all day. But let's not get too rice happy just yet. A 2021 review found that switching from white rice to brown rice might help with weight loss, but didn't make a dramatic difference in blood sugar for people with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. So yes, it's healthier, but it's not magic. Black rice, the royal rebel of healthy rice. Now entering the chat, black rice, also known as forbidden rice because in ancient China, it was reserved exclusively for royalty. That's right. This grain was so elite, peasants weren't even allowed to look at it without a permission slip and a bow. And when you cook it, that dramatic black turns into a rich purple. It's not just rice, it's a color-changing, antioxidant-packed legend. So why is black rice a strong contender for the healthiest rice crown? Because it absolutely crushes it in the antioxidant department. In fact, black rice has the highest antioxidant activity of all rice types. This is the kind of rice that doesn't just sit on your plate looking mysterious. It's doing deep cell repair work behind the S. Antioxidants, in case you need a refresher, are like bodyguards for your cells. They protect you from damage caused by free radicals, those unstable molecules that show up when you're stressed, sick, or just living in 2025. Too many of them, and you're looking at oxidative stress, which can contribute to all kinds of fun stuff like heart disease, cancer, and brain fog, so thick you forget your own Netflix password. Now, what makes black rice especially powerful is its high levels of anthocyanins, those same purple pigments found in blueberries and red cabbage. These compounds are antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and just generally overqualified for the job.
Get this.
Studies show anthocyanins may reduce the risk of certain cancers, including colorectal cancer. In test tubes, where a lot of science gets dramatic, black rice extracts stopped breast cancer cells from growing and spreading. We're not saying it's a cure, but we're saying that if antioxidants had a prom queen, black rice would be wearing the crown, the sash, and probably singing a victory ballad. Red rice, the underdog with a superfood punch. Next up, we have red rice, and no, it didn't get that color from embarrassment. This deeply pigmented grain comes in varieties like Himalayan red rice and Thai red cargo rice, and it packs a punch both on your plate and in your health game. Red rice isn't just a pretty face in the grain aisle. It's higher in fiber and protein than your basic white rice, but where it really turns heads is in its antioxidant power. Think of red rice as the middle child who doesn't get as much attention as black or brown rice, but secretly has better grades, a side hustle, and a killer skincare routine. So, what's inside this crimson carb? Like black rice, red rice is absolutely loaded with flavonoid antioxidants, those disease-fighting, inflammation-busting plant compounds. We're talking heavy hitters like apigenin, myricetin, and quercetin. Basically, if antioxidants were Marvel superheroes, red rice has half the Avengers in its kernel. And here's the kicker. Research shows that red rice may have even more flavonoid antioxidants than brown rice. That's right, it's like brown rice but dressed for a red carpet event and carrying a first aid kit for your body. So what do these flavonoids actually do? They help fight free radicals, those rogue molecules out to mess with your cells. They calm inflammation, which means less swelling and drama inside your body. They may help reduce your risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. So yeah, red rice doesn't just taste nutty and satisfying. It's also working behind the S to keep your cells chill and your health on track. Wild rice, the not rice that's winning anyway. Let's get one thing straight. Wild rice isn't technically rice. It's actually the seed of aquatic grass, but let's not get hung up on semantics. In the kitchen, it cooks like rice, looks like rice, and fills your belly like rice. So for all practical purposes, it's an honorary member of the rice family. Like that one cousin who shows up at family dinner and nobody questions how they're related. So, is wild rice one of the healthiest rice options? Absolutely. Wild rice is a whole grain and naturally higher in protein and fiber than white rice, making it a more satisfying and filling choice. The kind of rice that actually keeps you full past your next meeting or snack raid. But wait, there's more. Wild rice brings some serious micronutrient game with solid doses of B vitamins for energy and metabolism, magnesium for muscles and mood, manganese for bone health and antioxidant defense. Oh, and in case that wasn't impressive enough, animal studies suggest wild rice may help lower triglycerides, cholesterol, insulin resistance, and oxidative stress, all big red flags for heart disease. Now, before we nominate it for a Nobel Prize, we should note, more research in humans is still needed. But so far, wild rice is showing up strong on the healthy rice leaderboard. White rice, the basic staple with a complicated backstory. Ah yes, white rice. The global superstar of rice. It's the most consumed variety around the world and also the one with the most mixed reviews. Let's unpack it. White rice is basically brown rice after a spa day that went too far. It's had the husk, bran, and germ removed. That means longer shelf life and a smoother texture, but also fewer nutrients. Say goodbye to most of the fiber, protein, and antioxidants. Nutritionally speaking, white rice is lower than its colorful cousins, brown, red, black, and wild rice, in pretty much every major category, except, plot twist, arsenic. White rice is actually lower in arsenic, which may matter if rice is a major part of your diet. Also, white rice often gets enriched with iron and B vitamins, so don't count it out completely. Some versions can actually be higher in certain micronutrients than brown rice. Who knew? Now, about that glycemic index, yes, it's higher than brown rice, which means it can spike your blood sugar faster. But there's a clever kitchen trick. Cool your white rice after cooking and you'll create resistant starch, a type of fiber that's easier on your blood sugar. Science is magic. And even if it's not the healthiest rice, white rice can still be part of a healthy diet. Just pair it with protein, veggies, and fiber-rich foods, and you're golden. Packaged rice, the convenient frenemy. Let's talk about pre-made and packaged rice blends, or, as we like to call them, the fast food of the rice world. Sure, they're convenient. Just tear, zap, and boom, dinner in 90 seconds. But here's the thing. While some blends are fairly healthy, others are basically rice dressed up like a salt shaker with a sweet tooth. Take Uncle Ben's teriyaki ready rice, for example. Sounds harmless, right? 1 cup of that stuff has 900 milligrams of sodium. That's 39% of your entire daily sodium allowance in one rice pouch. Unless you're training for a salt lick competition, that's probably not ideal. And let's not forget, a lot of these blends come with added sugars, artificial flavors, and enough preservatives to make your pantry rice jealous. So, what's the move here? Moderation is key. These blends can be lifesavers on busy nights, but they shouldn't be your go-to every day. Especially if your idea of seasoning is already a little extra soy sauce.
So,
Which rice should you actually choose? Here's the honest truth. There's no one-size-fits-all healthiest rice. It depends on your needs, your tastes, and whether or not your toddler is going to throw it on the floor. That said, whole grain varieties like brown, black, red, and wild rice consistently win in the nutrition department. They're higher in antioxidants, fiber, and protein than their refined counterparts, and research shows that whole grains are linked with better overall health, from lower risk of heart disease to better blood sugar control. But if you're team white rice, don't panic. It's a cultural staple in many diets, from sushi to biryani, and it's affordable, versatile, and easy to digest. The key is pairing it with the right sidekicks. So if white rice is on the menu, just bring in the backup. Veggies for fiber and nutrients. Proteins to balance blood sugar. Legumes for plant-based power. Oh, and a bonus tip? Make your own rice at home. It's cheaper, cleaner, and you control exactly what's going into it. No mystery sauces, no surprise sodium, and no added sugar lurking behind a fancy flavor name. Segment title: The Rice Truth. It's about balance, not perfection. Let's bring it all home. Whole grain rice varieties, like brown, black, red, and wild rice, are the nutritional powerhouses of the rice world. Thanks to their brand and germ, they deliver more fiber, protein, antioxidants, and key nutrients than their refined cousins. They're basically the rice equivalent of someone who never skips leg day and always brings reusable shopping bags. But hey, white rice isn't the villain here. It still provides valuable nutrients and is an important staple in many cultures. It digests easily, tastes great, and works beautifully in dishes that demand a lighter texture. So, what's the real secret to making rice part of a healthy diet? It's what you put around it. Whether you're going with wild rice or plain white, just be sure to build a balanced plate. Load up on veggies. Add a solid protein source. Toss in some heart-healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, or even a few nuts. Because in the end, the healthiest rice isn't just about the grain itself. It's about how it plays with the rest of your meal. So go ahead, steam it, fry it, roll it into sushi, or stuff it into a burrito bowl. As long as you're keeping it balanced and delicious, any rice can be the healthiest rice on your plate.